Namaskar and welcome to RagaQuest, our journey together on the quest for understanding music. Let us begin our quest with a very simple and fundamental question. Can we find a simple definition for music? Interestingly, I came across a very simple definition for music way back in the World Book Dictionary. The definition goes like this: music is an art of making sounds that are beautiful and putting them together into beautiful, pleasing, or interesting arrangements. Now, this definition is simple yet very profound. So, music is about sound. And so, if we want to understand music, let us begin with understanding sound. Now, there is sound all around us, but what is around us is actually noise. Now, noise is nothing but chaos, where no two sounds have any specific relationship with each other. For example, this sound of traffic on a traffic junction. Noise by character is chaos, and so it is distinctly jarring to the ear, far from being pleasant. So now we have to extract pleasant sounding and beautiful sounds out of this noise and then use them to create music. So let's see how this happens. Now, the first step in this journey of noise to a musical sound is get rid of the chaos. So bring in some element of regularity. Now, a very good example of such a regular sound which we find in nature is the sound of sea waves. The waves are crashing onto the beach one after the other rhythmically, and the sound is quite irregular in nature. But is the sound of sea waves pleasurable? May not be to everybody. I love sitting on the beach listening to the waves crashing one after other, but everybody may not like it. So now we have to bring in that element of pleasantness. So our search for pleasantness takes us to these bird songs. The chirping of birds is almost like tunes, songs, because they are repeating similar sequences again and again. And it definitely is pleasing and universally pleasing. It will be difficult to find somebody who doesn't like the chirping of birds. Now, did you notice the bee humming at the end of these bird songs? This sound of the bee humming has a certain specific character to it. It sounds very steady. This steadiness is the steadiness of its pitch. Now we are going to understand what pitch means later. But it keeps very steady and a very regular and a pleasant sound. An example of such a sound is this. Now this is creating such a sound like a bee humming of a very steady pitch, and when I make this again and again, we recognize that it's the same sound repeating again and again at the same pitch level. And then if I create a similar sound through another source, then we know that the pitches are different. Now such a sound which has a very steady pitch, which is pleasant and of course regular, is known as Naad. Naad is a Sanskrit word for such a sound, and this Naad is going to be our source for musical sounds now. But not every Naad is going to be a musical sound. I mean, you can find a Naad through the ringing of a bell or even the humming bee. But then unless you attach a purpose to it, unless you attach the purpose of creating music to it, it doesn't become a musical sound. And there is this deliberateness of purpose, deliberateness of creation, where somebody is going to create such a naad through a musical instrument or voice, and specifically is going to control various characteristics to create music or create musically relevant sounds one after the other, is what is going to make this naad as the swara. So finally, we can say that swara is that naad which is created specifically for the purpose of making music. So what happens is this swara is going to create an expectation. So if you create a swara, it is going to lead to an expectation of music. Let's see how this happens. I can create one swara on the flute, but when I keep it steady, hold steady, and start playing this one note, we all start expecting that something is going to follow.